This is Jeff Gordon's car looking live as he goes up behind the wall back toward the garage area. Trying to make his way into where the team's heavy-duty equipment is to see what kind of repairs they can effect on that Chevrolet.
And look at that crash cart in front of him with all the equipment they need to repair this DuPont Chevy.
And they're going to need a lot.
Asking him where to take it. They'll take it over by the transporter and go to work. We'll follow that story for you, but we're back racing on the track. Rusty Wallace leads Ron Hornaday, Sterling Marlin, now Ward Burton up to 4th, and Ricky Rudd 5th. Buckshot Jones down on the inside is a lap down, back in 41st place from his spin earlier.
14 car looks good.
He's looking on the inside of Rusty Wallace. He's looking there.
Try it again, down low. He's determined to get out front.
Rusty Wallace took his line away from him. Rusty Wallace moved up on the racetrack exactly the same spot that Hornaday has been running.
Here's Ricky Rudd trying to get another spot. This is 4th place he's bidden on from Ward Burton, and Dale Jr. trying to follow him through. Dale Jr. started in 8th. Junior up to 6th now, around Casey Atwood. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Well, Jeff Gordon is surveying the damage. Jeff, something you normally see at the end of a short track race, not so early.
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure what happened. I have to ask Sterling, but you know, I just my car did take a little while to come in. It was really, really good. I tell you, I'm real happy with the way the car was working, and it took a while. And so Sterling was faster. Got to the inside. I gave him the inside. I was just working outside, waiting for my tires to come in. I know we touched going in 3, and that was it.
How bad is the car hurt? Will you be able to get it back out for points?
Oh, you know we'll get it back out there, but it's not going to be much of a point stay today. I keep telling you guys, man, it ain't over yet.
Well, he came in with a 342-point lead, but that will take a hit today, Alan.
Now the pressure being on Rudd, Marlin, and Jarrett to try and have a good finish, if not win, and gain the most points they can, taking advantage of Gordon's troubles.
And you know they're sitting up in that CVP a little bit taller, knowing that points leader is in that garage, and that they can make up a lot of ground tonight.
That is right. They're on that accelerator just a little bit harder. Kenny Schrader on the outside, the 36 car. Schrader started back in 17th, is up to the 8th position. Last 3 or 4 races, Schrader has been a dominant car.
I talked with New Moore's crew chief this morning, and he said they found something in their shock package that Kenny really likes. He thought they'd run well tonight. Talking about Ricky Rudd and championship, we talked with Ricky earlier this weekend about what he and the 28 have to do to get back in the fight for this title.
He has those same couple of races in a row, mechanical problems that I had. But then all of a sudden, well, okay, we're right back in the thick of things. So we still have, what, 10, 11 races to go. He's going to have some problems. Hopefully we won't, but realistically we're going to have problems. But, you know, it's not impossible for us to win this thing. But mathematically, I think it's impossible. If we both finish the season without any mechanical problems whatsoever, then the chances just already settled. But, you know, our only hope is that he has some problems and we don't.
Well, there's some hope. That's what he got.
Rudd working hard on trying to get that 4th position away from Ward Burton. What's this been, about 7 laps now?
And the problem with it is, you know, with Ricky down on the bottom of the racetrack, where he needs to be is he needs to let the car drift up right there. And when the 22 car is there, that's when you lose a little bit of track position. Now the 28 will gain a little bit getting into the corner here. But it's getting off the corner. When you got to pinch the car down, it makes it tough to make that pass.
Dave Burns.
And Alan, earlier they were talking on the radio, the 28 guys were about running the high line, but the 14 car, Ron Hornaday, was running and ran last night in the Busch Series race when he finished 11th. And so it appears that now if Ricky can make the pass, which he did, that he can get back up in that high line and run where he was quicker.
Looking down on Richmond International Raceway from the U.S. Army Skycam. United States Army, the Army of One.
Now, just a second ago when we had that shot, the 22 car, Ward Burton, actually pointed out the window to Dale Jr. that, hey, if you're going to get me, I want you to go down low.
As we watch this battle for the 4th position, Rusty Wallace has pulled away from Hornaday by about a second.
So the lead is settled down. Wallace, Hornaday, and Marlin. Then we go back to this race for 4th on down. He did. He obliged. Ward told him to go low. It's one of the great things about this track. The 2 lanes are equally as fast. You can race side by side all night long.
But the problem is being down low, if you're down there lap after lap, you're actually abusing your tires more than the guy on the outside. You heat the tires up more because you're pinching the car down. So you're putting more heat in the right front tire.
Well, Ward defends for now. Hangs on to the 5th position over Dale Earnhardt Jr., but it's Rusty Wallace who's out in front here at Richmond.
What's up, Jeff? Hey, give me old 1, 2. Give me old what for? Surely they know. This means war.
Drivers carrying the Looney Tunes characters tonight. Where they stand in the race. 9th, 11th, 17th, 20th, and in the garage.
Bugs Bunny ran to his home on the 24 car. He is in the garage.
Yeah. So Gordon right now behind the wall getting repairs made to his car after a lap 35 crash that you saw with Sterling Marlin. This while Ricky Rudd runs 4th, Marlin runs 2nd, and Dale Jarrett runs 27th.
And you can see Rusty Wallace, the leader of the 2 car. Sterling Marlin at 40 has taken the 2nd spot away from Ron Hornaday.
Interval 1.38 seconds from Wallace back to Marlin. And Hornaday has fallen another 2nd farther behind them. As you look down on the gap, there it is. There's Hornaday. Rusty Wallace, the unquestioned master of this Richmond track since it was rebuilt in its 3/4 mile form. He has just been outstanding and dominating here. He leads every statistical category at this racetrack since it was done in the 3/4 mile layover. Most wins, most top 5s, most top 10s, most races led, most laps led. Do you know, Benny, that since they redid this racetrack in its current form, Rusty Wallace has led 24% of every lap raced here?
24% of every all the laps that have been run.
Really? Since the track was made into this shape.
He's definitely the dominant car. We see Rusty Wallace pulling away from Sterling Marlin, about a 1.5 seconds in front now.
Kevin Harvick, Ken Schrader, Bobby Labonte. This is for 10th, 11th, and 12th. Continuing to work on the 11th position, Dave Burns.
Yeah, he's moving back just a little bit, Alan. I checked with his pit, and they said he was okay, and right about that time, he radioed in and said that he was a little tight, and so they're going to try to make some changes when they pit the first time.
All right, so that's the update on Ken Schrader. I started to talk a minute ago about the conversation I had with his crew chief, Newt Moore, earlier today down in the garage. He said a couple of weeks ago, they hit on something. They hired a new shock specialist, and they hit on this combination that Ken really likes the feel of, and it's reflected in their racing the last couple of weeks.
Well, it makes a big difference. I mean, the shock package gives you a lot of feel in the racetrack, and what you're looking for, what driver's looking for when you look for the feel is grip. So if that's helped Kenny, that's going to give him a lot of confidence.
This is 9th place.
And we see Harvick has taken that spot away from Jeff Green. That is Jeff Green, the AOL car, the 30. And in happy hour, he was just clearly faster than all the other cars, talking about Jeff Green.
Now, here's the first of the cars that pitted under that last caution, moving back through the field. The 99 of Jeff Burton. He restarted in 25th place. He's trying to take 14th from Ricky Craven.
And Tony Stewart, the 20 car, is following Jeff Burton. He also made a pit stop, a chassis adjustment, and 4 tires.
So we're at lap 72 now. These guys, 73 make it. These guys who have not stopped up the front. If this is a long green flag run, how far can they go?
I don't know. Be honest with you, Alan.
Well, I'll tell you. How about
here comes the math. Here comes the math.
How about lap 110?
Okay.
Is what most of the people were telling me would be the farthest they'd want to run. Maybe not pitting under that caution could turn into a mistake if this goes green for a while.
Well, I agree with you, especially if some of these guys take 2 tires, even if that they may have to be forced to take 2 tires.
Battle for 3rd position. Hornaday, after that fast run to begin with, has fallen back. Ricky Rudd trying to take that away. Hornaday was battling for the lead just a few laps ago, and now he's battling for 4th.
Matt Yoakum.
About 10 laps ago, Alan, Ron Hornaday came on the radio and was talking to his crew chief, Donnie Bradis, that the car has become tight entering the corner, so he was playing with the brake bias, trying to free it up a little bit, but his biggest concern is how the rotors look compared to the competition. So his spotter, Skip Eiler, was eyeing Hornaday's rotors. He said they were glowing, but not any worse than the 40 car.
You know, another problem you've got to be careful here is not running your brakes too hard at the start of the race. Because what happens is you'll glaze the brakes over. What that is, you get the brakes so hot right off the bat, it actually leaves a film over the rotor. And it hurts the braking of that, and that never comes back. So you got to be, I think that happened to Jimmy Spencer earlier this year.
At the first race here, exactly the same thing. What happens is the brake pads get so hot that the material sticks to the rotors.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, they just won't stop. You hit the brakes, you've got a good pedal, but the car will not slow down the way it has been slowing down.
Burton and Stewart continuing to march through the field on the fresher tires, taking 13th away from Johnny Benson. Marty?
Well, I'd say the pit stop earlier has really paid off for Jeff Burton, guys. As we've mentioned, he restarted 25th. He is now up to the 13th position. He was a little bit loose and a little bit tight on that last run. They came in, they fixed that. Now he's just a little bit loose off. And the scary part is his car's just now starting to come in. They are terrible on new tires, but absolutely terrific on these old tires.
And that's when you want to be terrific. You want to be terrific longer down in the run. That's going to make a big difference towards the end of the race.
Now working on Ken Schrader for 12th. You see Bobby Labonte just in front of them. He's the 11th place driver. And we're 80 laps in. Rusty Wallace, the leader, has caught the tail end of the field. Lap traffic ahead here in Richmond.